Good day guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I'll be teaching you how to make this beautiful cap on your screen. Some call it the Yoruba cap, some call it the AWOLOWO cap, and some call it FILA CAP. So what you need is your Ashoke material. So right now we're marking out 6.5 inches from the edge of the Ashoke material. Then you create a slant there. So when you measure the slant, you should have 9.5 or more. If it's less than 9.5, make sure you increase your slant. So now mark 12.5 inches on this way and the same 12.5 inches on the other side. Then you create a line. Then we'll trace it out. So guys, note that these measurements are slightly audible if you're sewing a cap that is more than 23 inches, because this measurement is mainly for someone who is around 22.5 downwards. If you're sewing 23 inches or above, then you add half inch on the two measurements. You make use of 7 inches for the slant, and then maybe 13 inches for the other cuts or the other slants. So right now we join the materials together. We stitch the 3 pieces together. This is what it will look like. If you are stitching it, make sure you always take it up a bit so that it will be on the same line after you've stitched it together. And this fabric is very loosey, so you have to be very careful when you are sewing or when you are dealing with this fabric, because this is not a fabric you would like to, this is not a material you would like to sew and lose. So this is it, and now we'll be stitching the other side of the fabric. We bring it together like this, and then we give it a stitch. We stitch it together. So guys, if you've not subscribed to this channel, kindly hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, so that whenever I post a new video like this, you'll get notified immediately. We also have a fashion channel, a fashion group, where we ask questions and interact with each other. We'll be meeting a number of tailors there, so I'd like you to also click on that link and join the group. It's in the description and equally in the channel page. So after you've stitched the lines together like this, you come and open it inside. Open press it like this for the 3 sewing lines. Then after you've done this, your cap is already looking like a cap, kind of. So what you do now is to split it into half. You split it into 2 like this, and then you open it up. So now this is where we now start taking our cap measurements. So if it was not big enough, you won't be able to use it. So this I cut out 3.5 by 24 inches of a collar gum, because the cap I'm sewing is 22 inches, so I needed something slightly bigger. So whatever cap measurement you're using, just add at least 2 inches to it or 1.5 inches to it, and then you cut the gum for it. So now I gum it to the Ashoke material, leaving ½ inch below, just ½ inch, remember. So after this, I'll go ahead to press it down here. Because of the cap design, the cap usually has you usually have to indicate the end of the collar gum. So this is basically how to sew an Ashoke cap or an AWOLOWO cap. So right now we'll go to the machine. I've already cut out this lining. The lining is just exactly the size of the Ashoke material that is with me, or you can make it slightly bigger even though you still trim it out. So right now we'll be following all this, the line we created on the collar gum with the sewing machine, just on 1/4 inch, and then we'll open it up and then continue the same process. You can use 1/4 inch for your sewing, and you can use 1/2 inch, whatever you want, but whatever allowance you choose to use, make sure you maintain it all through the sewing process, because you're going to be sewing this line all the way down to the base of the cap. So this is how this cap is basically. Though if you have your design on the cap already, you might choose to ignore this, but if there's no design, then you have to do this. So right now we'll be taking out the cap measurements, and then you start from this way. Take out your cap measurements. In my case is 11.1 actually, because the cap is 22.3. So I mark out the line, and then I start my sewing. So guys, this is where you have to be very careful. I think you will not like to finish sewing a cap and start losing it up because of the cap measurement. So when you are taking the cap measurement, you have to make sure it's as tight as possible, as tight as your hands can hold it, can hold the tape, and make sure your finger is not in between the tape. So when you're also sewing it, you have to be very careful to make sure you're getting it exactly as measured, so that you don't finish and start losing the cap. Remember I told you the material is not friendly to losing. So now, after we're done with this part, we come over to the lining part, and then in this lining part I will advise you leave it a bit bigger or freer than the main cap itself. You know it's inside, so in this place I'll be using 11 and 1/4 inch, so I'll just be giving it a little more free space. But you can equally use 11.5 towards the ending, so that the lining will be a bit bogus inside, or a bit baggy inside. So that is it for this. So right now we'll be going to the table to open press the allowance, which I've done that. And right now we'll turn it over. Make sure the allowance is still open while you're turning it, and then we stitch the edge of the gum, making sure that the lining is not showing. So you drag the lining inwards, and then you stitch the cap. So guys, if you've not subscribed to this channel up to this level and you've watched this video to this point, please guys, I urge you to subscribe, because this is all I do on this channel. I bring you very interesting tutorials on African senator wears and suit sewing and waistcoat sewing, anything male tailoring actually. So guys, this is not a content you would like to miss, so I urge you to subscribe to this channel. hit the notification bell, like this video, and also tell your friends about this channel. Thank you guys. So this has been done, and you can see that the lining is no longer popping out. So we turn it inwards so that we can sew the material to the lining. So on this point, you just top stitch a little, just half inch or quarter inch, as close as you can hold it. So you top stitch it before we go ahead to shape out the excess lining. So this is just it, how to sew a Yoruba cap. As you can see guys, it's not really hard. So now I've shaped out the lining and made it equal. So right now I'll be tracing out this cap. Make sure it is as circular as possible. Arrange it to be circular. Then use your chalk to mark out or trace out the edges of the cap. So that is it. So as I said guys, you should make sure it is circular. So I'll be tracing it out, and I've done that already. So now we'll go ahead to notch the edges of our cap, starting from this center line. Then you keep it together also and notch the other edges. So what you are making is 4 notches. Make sure your notch is not deep actually. 4 notches, so that you can be able to it will serve as a guide when you are joining or sewing this cover. So right here also we'll make 4 notches also. Make sure you don't notch too deep, because this material is kind of tricky. So just notch it very, very shallow, and then we'll go ahead to the sewing machine to stitch them together. So right now I've cut out a lining piece and I've joined it. I've stitched it together. So I trace it out. Then we'll go ahead to stitch the cap cover to the cap. So if your notches are not clear, take your time to also redo them back. So right now you turn the cap inwards this way, and you start from the sewing from the joining line. Then place it and stitch around the cap. So as you are sewing this cap now at this place, you have to be very careful and very, very calculative. Make sure you measure your notches once you get to them. Make sure each of the notch matches with the next notch. If you observe that there is too much allowance, I will advise you stop immediately and start fixing the error, because if you keep on going, by the end of the sewing you will not like what you see. So make sure all the notches align with each other and you sew round. So guys, we are gradually getting to the end of this tutorial. I also want you to wait for the pressing process, because the pressing is also what makes the cap outstanding. So if you've not liked this video, guys, kindly do so. I know you got value in this video. Please like the video, guys. Thank you. So after this, I'll go ahead to my weaving machine and weave this cap all around. Yes, so I've done that, and then it's time to iron the cap. So guys, you get this center like this, and make sure you press the clothes with the center joining in the center, because that's where the cap will actually slide to. This is how you press or how you iron a FILA cap or a Yoruba cap. So take your time, don't be in a hurry. The pressing actually makes the clothes more beautiful, or makes the cap more beautiful. So don't be in a hurry when ironing the cap. Press it with enough water and iron, and enough heat. So at this point, you bend the cap towards the side you want it to be, which is the side of the sewing allowance, and then we cover it, we iron it. So guys, thank you for sticking around to the end of this video. I equally have a previous video on this cap, so in case you want to check that out, and in case you need more clarification on anything, you might check that out, because that one is slightly different from this, but you will still arrive at the same solution. So guys, thank you for watching this video to the end. I appreciate. See you in the next class. Bye.